What's good, y'all? So this season has started and there has been a lot, and I mean a lot, of really high-level performances from guys all across the spectrum of the league. You've had guys like Aaron Gordon drop 50 points. You've had guys like Shai drop 55. You've had VJ Edgecombe come out and have the third most debut points as a rookie in his first game. Like, there has been so many different levels of players reaching these super high level performances. And it kind of just got me thinking about the talent of the league and how everything's shaping up. And it kind of got me also thinking about the MVP race. Obviously, the season just started. Most teams have only played like less than 5 games so far. And the title of the video is a little bit of hyperbole, but it got me thinking, yo, the last time we had an American MVP was James Harden in 2018. Since then, it was Giannis, Jokic, Embiid, Jokic, and Shai. That is 7 years straight of foreign-born players winning MVP. And now that I'm looking ahead, I don't know when the next time we will have an American-born MVP. You know, if you start by looking at Shai, who obviously just won the last MVP, the reigning MVP, reigning finals MVP, reigning scoring champ, whole lot coming off a career year for him. He's coming into this season just as good, if not even better. He's putting up 35 points per game, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, shooting over 52% from the field. The OKC Thunder are 5-0 under his reign. Like, they've been dealing with some injuries and stuff coming into the year. Shai has put them on his back. A little bit of AJ Mitchell too, but Shai has put them on his back and carried them to victories. And he really is doing that. I'm not just saying that as a figure of speech. He is number 1 in the league in total clutch points so far this year. He is number 1 in the league in clutch points per game out of guys that have played at least 2 clutch games so far. The OKC Thunder are 4-0 in clutch games. And there are a few things that go to winning MVP, obviously, but one of the bigger things outside of just team record and individual stats is moments. Do you have these MVP moments? And in just 5 games so far in the NBA season, Shai has a lot of those moments. Of course, he had the game-winning free throws, drawing the foul on Kevin Durant in double overtime versus the Houston Rockets in their ring ceremony, you know, kicking off the season. He won them that game. Then right after that, he dropped 26 points in the fourth quarter in overtime in another double overtime battle against the Indiana Pacers. He willed them to victory in that one. And then just a few nights ago, he also hit the dagger 3 against the Sacramento Kings when they were fighting. He fought back into that game, brought the Thunder to victory yet again. And like I said, OKC has been dealing with injuries to start the year. J-Dub has yet to play the game yet this season. Alex Caruso missed some time. Cason Wallace missed some time. Isaiah Joe missed some time. So it really limits the Thunder on how many ball handlers they have. They pretty much have Shai and they have AJ Mitchell. And shout out to AJ Mitchell for being like a breakout candidate so far this year. He has been a real big help to their ball handling. But outside of him, it's been damn near exclusively Shai, and he is still performing, still bringing them to victories. And I guess it makes sense to talk about the MVP right before Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. That is, of course, Nikola Jokic, the 3-time MVP. So far this year, Jokic has led the Nuggets to a 2-1 record. By the time you guys are seeing this video, they may have played another game, so the record and stats might be slightly off. As of now, he is averaging 20 points per game, 15 rebounds per game, and 12 assists while shooting 54% from the field and only 3 turnovers a game. Like, that is just insane to think about. He is leading the league in rebounds per game and assists per game. There probably will never be another player like Jokic that's able to do that. And I came into the year saying that the Nuggets have the best supporting cast around Jokic in his entire career. And even though their big acquisition of Cam Johnson is underperforming a little bit, I still am confident in that take, and I think that Cam Johnson will bounce back and the Nuggets will still have the best all-around talent around Jokic. Kind of a gift and a curse, though, because obviously that makes the game easier for him. Now when he goes off the court and Valanciunas comes on, they don't just lose by, they're not a negative 20 damn near when he's not on the court. So that helps. But also, I have noticed that Jokic maybe is deferring a little bit more than usual. I don't know if that's just him getting into the flow of the NBA season. We all know, he's not going to be super hard in the gym during the offseason, so maybe he's just working himself back into conditioning. But I did notice that he is taking the least amount of shots since he became a full-time starter. Not even an MVP level player. Since he has become a full-time starter, he's taking the least amount of shots. So hopefully he starts to be a little bit more aggressive. Obviously, you've had big performances from Aaron Gordon, and Jamal Murray has looked great. So maybe he just thinks he doesn't need to, and obviously they're winning, so yeah. But I would like to see him just keep that aggression up. But, I mean, even if he doesn't, like I said, he's leading the league in rebounds and assists. Like, how much can you really ask for the guy? Another MVP candidate and two-time former MVP is Giannis Antetokounmpo. He has looked absolutely amazing so far to start the year. And when a lot of people, myself included, were kind of down on the Bucks coming into this season, they are sitting at 3-1 right now, with Giannis averaging 36 points per game, 14 rebounds, and 7 assists. Oh, and I almost forgot, he's also shooting 70% from the field and 57% from 3. And obviously that will go down. That just shows you the flow state that Giannis is currently in right now. He's also averaging about a steal per game and a little over a block per game as well. And like I mentioned, a lot of people looked at this Bucks roster outside of Giannis and just said, like, this supporting cast is not really good. And I kind of agree with that. I was one of those guys also saying that. But looking at how this kind of roster is fitting around Giannis, it's bad in the fact that there is no second option. Like, their second best player is Miles Turner, who has not looked good offensively yet this season. I'm sure he will kind of bounce back and look somewhat like he did last year. He's not looking like that just yet. But so far, Giannis has been so good, they don't need a second option. Like, he has been that elite at doing literally everything for this team. Besides not having that go-to sidekick for Giannis, this team actually has a decent amount of defending, a decent amount of shooting. Again, like, their creation outside of Giannis is a little shaky. Shout out to Ryan Rollins, who just torched my Knicks last night, had an incredible game. Cole Anthony has also been looking pretty solid so far. KPJ is hurt right now, but, you know, when he comes back, he is just another addition to that guard room and that ball handling. But, like, I really do like that it's just Giannis. He is just putting his head down, getting to the rim damn near every single possession, and then the guys around him are just spreading the floor. You have Gary Trent, you have Taurean Prince. It's just defense and shooting around him, and I love that. Also, he is by far the best player in the Eastern Conference this year. Shout out Jalen Brunson, shout out Donovan Mitchell. None of them come close to Giannis Antetokounmpo, especially if he's playing like this. And if he's playing like this and the Bucks keep winning, he is damn sure going to be in that MVP conversation. That's the last of the former MVPs that are foreign-born that I really think are, like, primed to get it again. But the list doesn't stop there, because there are plenty of other foreign-born players that I think have a real shot. Luka Doncic is one of them. I know he's hurt and has only played 2 games so far. In those 2 games, the Lakers were only 1-1. But in those 2 games, he averaged 46 points, 11.5 rebounds, and 8.5 assists. And obviously, we have to see how long Luka is going to be sitting out. Those averages were only across 2 games, so those are going to fluctuate a little bit as he comes back to the court and is playing. I don't think that this year is his year to be like an MVP candidate. As long as he stays healthy and plays like 65 games, he will be in that conversation. But the narrative around the MVP race usually boils down to like 3 guys, then 2 guys, and then obviously you have your 1 winner. Since Luka is sitting out this beginning part of the season with that, I believe it was a hamstring or knee injury or something, I do think that he could kind of fall behind some of these other guys and their elite performances that they're putting up. But still, like, years to come, he is going to be in the MVP conversation year after year after year. And you would think I would run out of elite, top-of-the-line foreign-born players by now. But no, I haven't. Of course, the last guy I want to talk about is Victor Wembanyama. I have been very vocal on my support of Victor Wembanyama and saying that I think he has GOAT potential, and I think he could, keyword could, go down as the greatest player of all time when it's all said and done. I did not think it would come this fast. Like, I thought we had at least 1 more year before Wemby was in MVP conversations. Boy, it's looking like I am wrong. Right now, he has the Spurs sitting at 4-0 and averaging 31 points per game, 14 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal and a half, and league-leading 5 blocks a game. Oh, and he's shooting 60% from the field and 36% from 3 at 7'5". He is legitimately evolving right in front of our eyes. Like I said, I did not think it would be this fast. He's completely just switched his game in one offseason, which is crazy. Of course, he still is the #1 defender in the league, best defender in the world. Like, what he does defensively, covering ground, blocking shots, protecting the rim, it is literally never been seen before. So, he is one of one in that aspect. But offensively, last year he was shooting like 8 threes a game and just being a real perimeter threat. Now he is playing super close to the basket. He is getting to the rim. He is posting up. He is hitting shimmies, up and under, post moves. He is dunking on people, catching lobs. Like, it is absolutely insane to see. And when you look at the numbers, last year, 47% of his shots were three-point attempts. This year so far, that number has dropped down to 15. That is not a typo. He went from 47% to 15%. He is not shot chucking these threes anymore. He is playing close to the basket and dominating. He looks stronger on the court. He doesn't get bumped off his spots anymore. His handle looks tighter. He looks all around more comfortable taking whatever shot he wants to take. Like, he looks like, again, he is evolving directly in front of our eyes. So between the guys that are already in their primes of Jokic and Giannis, Shai, you could even put on there, even though he's kind of still like up and coming in some aspect, kind of the next generation. But then Luka, Wemby in there. I legit think that we are going to have a 10-year stretch of all foreign-born NBA players. We only need 3 more years in that to happen. And even at that aspect, I could see that this 5 group of players winning MVPs for the next, I don't even know, 7 years, something like that. Like, an insane amount of time. And to kind of check my work, if you want to call it that, or whatever, I did look around the league and tried to compile a list of American-born players that I think could be MVP candidates. And honestly, it was a little harder than I thought. The 3 guys that I have like solidified on there, I'm very confident that they could be close to an MVP in this next coming seasons. I have Anthony Edwards, Jalen Brunson, and Donovan Mitchell. All 3 of these guys are the #1 option on their team, some of the best scorers in the entire NBA, and their teams are towards the top of their conference, super competitive, deep playoff runs. There's that extra additive that you need to be a real MVP candidate. I think all 3 of those guys check pretty much all of the boxes. Then separated from those 3 guys, I had Jason Tatum and Tyrese Halliburton. I do think that both of these guys are MVP level players, or they were before their injury. Obviously, it's hard to know how good and what they'll look like when they come back from their Achilles injury. But I did want to include them on this list because I do think that they are some of the best players in their respective conferences. So, I do want to include them. And then kind of in they're not tiers, but in a group outside of that as well, I had some younger guys that it really depends on their personal development and then also their team success. But those guys include Cade Cunningham, Paolo Banchero, and Trae Young. So all in all, if I'm a betting man, I would put the house on that first 5 group of foreign-born players before any of those American-born players. And maybe I'm over-exaggerating this or whatever. Make sure you let me know in the comments below. I really don't know when the next time we're going to see an American-born MVP. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave it a like, subscribe so you don't miss the next one. In the description, there's links to all my social medias, so make sure you follow me on all those to keep up to date with me. Catch y'all.